When was the last time you truly heard your own mind without the noise of the world drowning it out? Most people never do. They wake up each day carrying the heavy weight of unfinished thoughts, unanswered questions, and unchecked emotions. And over time, that mental clutter becomes the invisible chains that keep them stuck exactly where they are. But what if today could be different? What if, starting right now, you could clear the fog and finally see your life for what it could be? Not someday, not when life calms down, but today. There's a reason so many feel lost and overwhelmed. It's not because they're weak. It's because they're drowning in mental noise. Thoughts spinning, fears whispering, doubts growing louder. And with every passing day, the clutter piles higher until it feels impossible to move. But there is a way out, and it begins with the simplest yet most powerful act, emptying your mind. Imagine your mind as a room. Over the years, you've stored every broken dream, every regret, every half-finished plan in it. Old arguments, failed goals, guilt about the past, worry about the future. The room is so full you can barely take a step without tripping over something. And still, every day, more gets added. More noise, more pressure, more chaos. No wonder it's hard to move forward. No wonder you feel trapped. But today, you have the chance to do something most never even think of doing, clearing the space, cleaning the mental room, creating order from chaos. And it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a perfect strategy. You don't need to wait until you feel ready. You just need a pen, a piece of paper, and the courage to face what's inside your mind. Start by writing down every thought that comes to you, without judgment, without censorship. Big or small, logical or irrational. If it's there, it goes on the page. Your fears, your unfinished tasks, your doubts, your dreams you're too scared to speak out loud. Everything, empty it all, because as long as these thoughts remain locked inside, they will control you. But once they're on paper, they lose their power. They become something you can see, something you can understand, something you can finally deal with. This process isn't about fixing everything in one sitting. It's about creating space for clarity to return. Because when your mind is clear, your true priorities rise to the surface. Your real dreams become louder than your fears. Your confidence begins to rebuild, not from hype, but from a deep knowing that you are finally in control again. And here's the truth most never hear. You don't need a new life. You need a new mind. A mind that isn't weighed down by everything that went wrong. A mind that isn't paralyzed by everything that could go wrong. A mind that is free to see opportunity instead of obstacles. Possibilities instead of problems. If you stay until the end of this journey, if you commit to truly clearing the clutter and creating space in your mind, what you'll find isn't just more peace, it's power. The power to take action without hesitation. The power to believe in your vision when nobody else sees it. The power to wake up every day knowing you are building something that matters, because clarity is more than just feeling better. It's about finally stepping into the life you are meant to live. It's about reclaiming your energy, your time, your future. It's about breaking free from the invisible walls you didn't even realize were holding you back. Today can be the day you stop carrying the weight of every unfinished story and start writing a new one. Not with perfection, not with certainty, but with a clear mind and an open heart. Today can be the day you breathe lighter, think sharper, move faster, dream bigger. Because the truth is, the greatest battles you will ever fight won't happen out there in the world. They will happen inside your own mind. And when you clear the battlefield, when you take command of your inner world, nothing outside of you can stop you. You are stronger than the noise. You are bigger than the fear. And right now, you have the chance to prove it. Clear the clutter, create the space, and watch your life begin to transform before your very eyes. Today is not just another day. Today is the first day of your true life. Choose to step into it. Choose to begin. Once the mind is clear, once the noise fades and the fog lifts, the next step becomes obvious. You must now take that clarity and turn it into action. Not someday, not when everything feels perfect. Action today, right now, because dreams only live in those who dare to move when others hesitate. You don't need a 10-year plan to change your life. You don't even need to know every step of the journey. What you need is a blueprint for the next 24 hours, a small, fierce commitment to yourself that says, today I move forward. Because when you shrink your focus to what you can control right now, you take back your power, you turn overwhelm into action, fear into fuel. Start simple. Ask yourself one powerful question. What would my life look like tonight if I made myself proud today? Visualize it. Feel it. Not the perfect life years from now. Just the life you could build between the moment you open your eyes and the moment your head touches the pillow. A single day, shaped with intention, can shift the course of an entire lifetime. Because the truth is, real transformation doesn't come from massive leaps. It comes from small wins stacked day after day after day. It comes from choosing purpose over comfort. It comes from writing a blueprint for your day and honoring it like your future depends on it. Because it does. Write it down. Define it. What are the 3 things you must accomplish today to step closer to the life you deserve? Not 100 goals, not a complicated list, just 3 things that matter. 3 things that, if completed, would make you end the day feeling strong, not defeated. 3 things that whisper to your soul, you are doing it. You are becoming who you were born to be. Then guard those 3 things with everything you have. Protect them from distractions. Protect them from excuses. Protect them from the voice that says, it's not the right time. Because every time you follow through, every time you honor your daily blueprint, you rewrite the story you believe about yourself. You prove to your own mind that you are not a prisoner of circumstance, you are a creator of destiny. Momentum loves speed. It doesn't care if the steps are small. It only cares that you keep moving. And when you win the day, when you win enough days in a row, something incredible happens. Confidence blooms. Energy rises. Your dreams stop feeling distant and start feeling inevitable. But if you don't decide to own your day, the world will own it for you. Distractions will steal your focus. Doubt will steal your ambition. Fear will steal your time. And every evening will end with the same heavy feeling of regret. Regret that you are meant for more, but you stayed still because you forgot the power of today. The life you want is not hiding, it's waiting. It's waiting for the moment you stop waiting for permission, waiting for the moment you decide that one good day is the beginning of everything. Not a miracle, not a massive breakthrough, just one good, honest, focused day. There is no tomorrow strong enough to replace the chance you have today. No perfect timing that will ever feel better than the decision you can make right now. You have the pen in your hand, the page is blank. And the story you choose to write today will echo far beyond these next 24 hours. Do not underestimate the quiet power of a single day lived with focus. History is built on small moments, stacked in silence, witnessed by no one that lead to greatness. Today can be one of those moments for you. Today can be the start of a new chapter. A chapter written by action, not excuses. By discipline, not delay. By courage, not comfort. Decide right now. What will your 24-hour blueprint look like? Who will you become when you honor it? What would it feel like to lay your head down tonight knowing you didn't waste this precious, fleeting day of life you were given? You don't need to be fearless. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin, to take the clarity you have fought for and shape it into motion. Because clarity without action is just another dream gathering dust. But clarity fueled by action, that is unstoppable. The clock is ticking. The world is spinning. Life is waiting. And greatness belongs to those who choose to rise while others sleep, who move while others make excuses, who dare to live wide awake in a world that has forgotten how to dream. Today is your canvas. Today is your chance. Don't let it slip away. Take it, shape it, own it, and let today be the first day you look back on and say, that was the moment everything began to change. When you hold your 24-hour blueprint in your hands, when your path for today is clear, a new challenge rises, one that quietly decides whether you will build momentum or let it all slip away. The challenge is this: will you defend your focus or will you allow it to be stolen? The truth is, most people never reach their full potential not because they lack ambition, but because they lose their attention. They let the outside world decide what matters. They answer every message. They react to every distraction. They chase noise instead of guarding their dreams. But if you want to create a life that feels powerful, a life you're proud to live, you must learn to ruthlessly eliminate distractions. You must learn to say no, not out of selfishness, but out of deep, unstoppable commitment to the life you are building. Your time is your most valuable currency. Every moment you spend on something meaningless is a moment ripped away from something that could have changed your future. Distractions are not harmless. They are thieves, subtle and silent. They rob you of your energy, your passion, your progress, and they leave you wondering why you feel empty even after a full day. You deserve better than that. Your dreams deserve better than that. It starts with awareness. You have to become brutally honest about what is stealing your attention. Name it. Face it. Own it. Whether it's endless scrolling, constant notifications, pointless conversations, or the fear of missing out, identify the forces pulling you away from your true path. Because you cannot fight what you refuse to see. Then you must cut them out with no hesitation, no guilt, no apology. Your future is worth more than someone else's urgency. Your goals are worth more than temporary entertainment. Protect your focus like a warrior defends sacred ground, because that's exactly what it is, sacred. Every dream you've ever whispered to yourself, every vision you've ever dared to believe in, depends on your ability to protect the space where your best work happens. Understand this: the world will not slow down for your dreams. It will keep shouting for your attention, trying to pull you into the chaos. You will be tempted to check, to scroll, to wander, but every time you choose to stay locked in, every time you choose your purpose over distraction, you build a new version of yourself, a stronger version, a clearer version, a version that can no longer be shaken by the noise around them. Success is not about doing everything. It's about doing the right things with fierce, undivided attention. It's about narrowing your focus until the only thing that exists is the step you're taking right now. The world may call it obsession. Let them. Greatness has always been misunderstood by those who gave up too soon. You have one life, one chance to squeeze every drop of meaning out of your days. You cannot afford to waste your energy on things that don't move you forward. You cannot afford to let meaningless noise drown out the sound of your own heartbeat calling you to more. So choose today to simplify. Choose today to strip away everything that is not essential. Choose today to build a fortress around your mind, around your time, around your dreams. Because when you remove the distractions, when you stop letting the world pull you in 1,000 directions, you will discover something extraordinary: peace, power, presence. Presence is the hidden engine of achievement. When you are fully present, fully locked in, you become unstoppable. Time slows down. Ideas become sharper. Confidence grows. And from that state, you create work, relationships, and moments that are not just good, they are unforgettable. If you stay with this, if you learn to protect your focus with your life, something inside you will change forever. You will realize that you no longer have to chase success. Success begins to chase you. Opportunities find you. Energy surrounds you. Progress becomes natural. Not because the world got easier, but because you got stronger. Right now, in this moment, you have the chance to draw a line in the sand, to declare that your future matters more than your distractions, to prove to yourself that you can be the kind of person who chooses focus over noise, discipline over impulse, growth over comfort. This is how real change happens, not in the rush of emotion, not in grand declarations, but in the quiet, powerful decisions you make day after day after day. Eliminate the noise, protect your mind, own your focus, and you will wake up one day to a life so powerful, so purposeful, so fiercely alive, that it won't even feel like the same life you were living before. The future you are dreaming of is not waiting on luck. It is waiting on your discipline, waiting on your focus, waiting on your decision to stop giving your energy away to things that don't deserve it. Choose to defend your dream with everything you have. Because if you don't, no one else will. Once you begin to guard your focus like it is sacred, a deeper truth reveals itself. You must now choose what to fill that focus with. Empty focus is not enough. Clarity is not enough. You must plant the seeds of growth deliberately. You must fill your mind, your time, and your spirit with the things that build you into the person you are destined to become. Growth is not automatic. It doesn't happen just because time passes. Growth is the reward for those who invest in themselves on purpose. Those who wake up each day hungry to learn, to evolve, to sharpen their minds and strengthen their hearts. Because if you are not feeding your potential, you are starving it. And over time, that slow starvation will rob you of the life you were meant to live. This is the silent reason why so many feel stuck. They clear the noise, they protect their focus, but they do not intentionally choose what to nourish their soul with. They allow empty habits, passive consumption, and shallow routines to fill the space where their greatness should be growing. But not you. Not anymore. From this moment on, make a decision that the space you have cleared will be filled only with what lifts you higher. Fill your mind with knowledge that challenges you. Surround yourself with words that strengthen you. Seek out ideas that make you uncomfortable in the best possible way, because true growth always lives just beyond the edge of comfort. You must become your own architect. Every book you read, every conversation you have, every thought you allow to linger must be chosen with intention. Ask yourself every day, is this building me or is this breaking me? Is this moving me closer to the life I envision or quietly pulling me further away? Growth does not scream. It whispers. It shows up in small moments, the book you choose to open instead of the endless scrolling, the hour you dedicate to a new skill instead of mindless distractions, the decision to reflect instead of react. And while the world may not notice those small choices, your future will. Your future will be built on them. There is nothing more powerful than a person who is addicted to their own evolution, a person who wakes up each day with a relentless commitment to be better than they were yesterday. Not for applause, not for validation, but because deep down, they know they are not finished becoming who they were meant to be. Feed your mind like a champion trains their body. Push yourself to think bigger, to learn faster, to stretch beyond what feels safe. Because every time you expand your mind, you expand your future. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you break free from the invisible limits that once held you back. Understand this, there will always be two forces battling for your life, one pulling you toward growth and one pulling you toward comfort. Comfort will whisper easy lies. It will tell you that you're fine where you are, that you don't need to stretch, that you don't need to risk. Growth, on the other hand, will demand everything from you. It will challenge your beliefs. It will ask you to sacrifice your excuses. It will require that you leave behind parts of yourself that can't survive the next level. But in that battle, every time you choose growth, you win. You become more. You become wiser, stronger, more resilient. And you move closer to the life that once seemed out of reach. So feed yourself daily with what fuels you. Build rituals that nourish your body, sharpen your mind, and fortify your spirit. Create a life where learning is as natural as breathing, where curiosity leads your decisions, where expansion becomes your default setting. And when you commit to that life, something beautiful happens. Challenges no longer feel like punishments. They feel like invitations. Invitations to rise, to stretch, to prove to yourself just how powerful you really are. You were never meant to stay the same. You were built for growth, designed for expansion, wired to evolve. The seed of greatness was planted inside you the moment you were born. But whether it blooms or withers depends on how fiercely you choose to nurture it. Right now, in this moment, you have the chance to make a vow to yourself, to stop settling, to stop coasting, to start growing like your future depends on it, because it does. You are not here to live an average life. You are not here to barely get by. You are here to stretch into the fullness of who you are, to leave a mark so deep that the world remembers you long after you're gone. Feed your mind, fuel your spirit, push your limits, and you will become unstoppable, not someday, not when it's convenient, but starting today. When you begin to fuel your growth with intention, something inside you shifts. You start to realize that the person you are becoming requires more than just new knowledge. It demands new standards, higher expectations, uncompromising discipline, because dreams are not built by inspiration alone, they are built by habits, by the silent, unseen choices you make when no one is watching. The truth is, your future is hiding in your daily routines. It's not hidden in some distant dream or a perfect opportunity waiting to arrive. It's buried inside the tiny choices you repeat over and over again every single day, the small disciplines you either practice or ignore. This is the real battleground. This is where success or failure is decided long before anyone sees the results. Every morning you rise without pressing snooze. You cast a vote for the life you want. Every time you move your body when you don't feel like it, you reinforce the mindset of a champion. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you teach your mind that your dreams matter more than your impulses. And every time you skip the work, you do the opposite. You teach yourself that comfort wins, that your future can wait, that your best life is negotiable. But the life you truly want is not negotiable. Not if you're serious. Not if you are tired of wishing and ready to start building. You must hold yourself to a higher standard even when no one else is watching, especially when no one else is watching. Because when you raise your standards, you change your life. You stop settling for excuses. You stop tolerating laziness. You stop waiting for the perfect moment and realize that the perfect moment is the moment you decide it is. Most people fail not because they lack dreams, but because they lack standards strong enough to honor those dreams. They tell themselves they'll start tomorrow. They tell themselves they'll try harder when it feels easier. But every time they lower their standards, they push their dreams further out of reach, until eventually they forget what it ever felt like to believe in something bigger. You cannot let that happen to you. You cannot afford to lose sight of who you could become. You must be relentless in the standards you set for yourself. Standards for how you treat your body, your mind, your goals, your time, and your word. Standards so powerful that they pull you forward even when motivation fades, even when doubt creeps in, even when the world tempts you to settle. Because discipline is not a punishment. It's a declaration that says, I will not betray the future I am fighting for. Discipline builds momentum. Momentum builds confidence. And confidence builds a life where you no longer have to beg for opportunities. They find you. Doors open. Energy floods in. And every step forward feels less like a grind and more like a natural expression of the person you have become. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent, about showing up for yourself, especially on the hard days, especially when no one is cheering, especially when the only voice encouraging you is the one inside your own heart. Success is not built in sudden bursts of effort. It's carved slowly, day by those who refuse to quit on themselves, those who honor the process, even when the results are invisible, those who show up with full intensity, full focus, full heart, even when the world offers every excuse to slack off. If you want to change your life, you must raise your standards higher than your moods, higher than your excuses, higher than your circumstances, because life will test you. It will push back. It will see how badly you truly want it. And when that moment comes, your standards will be the foundation you stand on or the trap door you fall through. Choose right now who you are going to be. Choose what you will no longer accept. Choose what you will demand from yourself, not someday, not when it's easy, right now, because the life you are dreaming of is already waiting for you. It's just waiting for you to rise high enough to meet it. Raise your standards, build your discipline, own your habits, and watch as the life you once thought was impossible becomes the life you wake up to every single day. When you raise your standards and build your discipline, you unlock a new level of power within yourself. But there is one force even greater that you must harness if you truly want to change the course of your life: responsibility. The moment you take full ownership of everything in your life, every action, every choice, every result, you become untouchable. No more blaming, no more waiting for someone to rescue you, no more excuses hidden behind circumstances. It's you. It's always been you. And that is where real freedom begins. Taking responsibility is not about shame. It's about power. It's the understanding that if you created your current situation, you also hold the power to create something greater. It's the mindset that says, I am not a victim, I am the author. Every day, with every decision, you are either writing a story of regret or a story of victory. You are either shrinking under the weight of circumstances or rising with the force of your own decisions. Most people give away their power without even realizing it. They say things like, "It's not fair," or "It's not my fault," or "Someone else should fix it." And with every word, they dig themselves deeper into a life they no longer control. But you are different. You are awake now. You see the truth. The life you want is not built by complaining about the obstacles. It's built by becoming stronger than them. Responsibility means that even if it's not your fault, it's still your problem. It means that even if someone else caused the pain, you decide how the story ends. It means that no matter how heavy life gets, you refuse to surrender your destiny to anything or anyone outside of yourself. You pick up the weight. You own the challenge. You choose to be the one who changes everything. And yes, it will be hard. It will stretch you. It will ask you to dig deeper than you ever have before. But inside that struggle is where you meet the most powerful version of yourself. The version that doesn't flinch when life gets tough, the version that doesn't quit when it gets complicated, the version that rises because they know they are the solution. When you take full ownership, you stop looking outward and start building inward. You start focusing not on what the world owes you, but on what you owe yourself. You realize that your attitude, your actions, your discipline, and your resilience are the tools that carve out the life you dream about. And with that realization comes an unstoppable drive, a fire that no setback, no failure, no disappointment can ever extinguish. Because once you accept that you are responsible, you also accept that you are capable of rising from failure, capable of outlasting hardship, capable of creating miracles with hard work and relentless faith. You don't need permission to change your life. You don't need someone else to validate your dreams. You don't need perfect conditions to start. You need only one thing, the decision to own it all. To stand tall in your life and say, everything changes because I am changing. Everything gets better because I refuse to accept less. Responsibility is not a burden, it's a gift. It's the key that unlocks every door. It's the foundation for unstoppable confidence. Because when you know you are responsible, nothing can break you. Setbacks don't define you. Rejection doesn't defeat you. Fear doesn't paralyze you. Because you have already decided you are bigger than any challenge, tougher than any obstacle, stronger than any storm. You were born to take command of your life. You were born to shape your destiny with your own hands. You were born to break cycles, to build legacies, to prove that your story will not end the way it started. And that power has been inside you all along, waiting for the moment you would claim it. This is your moment. This is the turning point where you stop waiting, stop blaming, stop hoping for life to magically get better. This is where you become the reason it gets better. Not someday, not when it's easy. Right now, own your choices, own your mistakes, own your growth, own your future. Because the moment you do, you will step into a life so powerful, so purposeful, so breathtakingly alive, that it will feel like destiny itself has been waiting for you to finally show up. And you will know deep in your bones that everything you dreamed of was never outside of you. It was always within you, waiting for you to decide you were ready. When you finally accept that everything you need is already inside you, the excuses begin to lose their power. Fear loses its grip. Doubt starts to wither. Because now you are no longer looking for reasons why you can't. You are hunting for reasons why you must. You are driven not by the absence of obstacles, but by the fire of purpose burning in your chest. Purpose is the compass that cuts through the noise. It's the reason you get back up when you're knocked down. It's the reason you stretch beyond your limits when the world tells you to shrink. Without purpose, effort feels heavy, discipline feels forced, and setbacks feel final. But with purpose, even the heaviest burdens feel lighter because you know what you're carrying them for. You were not put on this earth to drift. You were not born just to exist, to survive, to punch a clock and count the years. You were built to create, to impact, to ignite change, not just in your own life, but in the lives of everyone you touch. And that power does not come from waiting for someone else to define your mission. It comes from deciding for yourself what you stand for, what you fight for, what you will never quit on. Your life needs a why that's bigger than your excuses. A why that is so clear, so raw, so personal, that quitting feels like betrayal, not betrayal to anyone else, but betrayal to your own soul. When you have a strong enough reason, you stop asking for permission to be great. You stop needing validation to pursue your dreams. You stop hesitating when the path gets hard, because your reason is greater than your resistance. Finding your purpose is not about finding something outside of you. It's about digging into your own heart and pulling out what matters most. It's about asking yourself the hard questions. What kind of life will I regret not living? What kind of person do I refuse to die without becoming? What mark do I want to leave on this world, no matter how small or large? Purpose doesn't guarantee an easy road. It guarantees a meaningful one. It guarantees that when life punches you in the mouth, and it will, you will have something inside you stronger than the pain. You will have a reason to take one more step when your legs are shaking. A reason to stay faithful when the results are invisible. A reason to believe when belief feels impossible. This is the fuel that makes ordinary people extraordinary. This is what turns discipline into devotion, what turns hard work into honor, what turns survival into legacy.